Hey guys, it's Hannah, and I am here to do my November wrap-up and December TBR. Yeah. This month was a pretty good reading month. I read a total of 3 books, but I also listened to 2 books, so that's a total of 5 books. So, you know, that's pretty good for me, especially in November, which is probably my craziest month ever because of all of my 4-H competitions and school. It's pretty hectic. Hi, cat. My cat came to join me. This is Jasmine again. If ever she's in the room when I make a video and I start talking to the camera, she's like, oh, are you calling me? And then she'll come down and want me to pet her, and it's kind of like, no, I'm not talking to you, cat. Can't hear. So yes, let's get into the November wrap-up. The first book that I finished in the month of November was Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. This was actually my school book for October, but I didn't finish it until November, which is fine for me. Don't worry, guys. I didn't flunk whatever class it was because I'm homeschooled, so my mom was like, okay, yeah, your life is crazy. It's okay if you don't finish it in time. So I didn't finish it until like the 2nd or 3rd day in November, so that's why it's in this wrap-up instead of the October wrap-up. Yes. Anyway, I really enjoyed this book. I've discovered that I really like gothic novels because I love Jane Eyre, and that's considered a gothic novel, and Frankenstein was just amazing. Although I didn't like Victor Frankenstein. For those of you who don't know, Frankenstein isn't actually the name of the monster. It's the name of the creator or the scientist. His name is Victor Frankenstein, and the monster doesn't have a name. He's usually called the monster or the demon or the creature or something like that. I haven't actually seen any of the adaptations of Frankenstein, but I know the storyline. I'm kind of a scaredy cat, and I don't like to watch that sort of thing, so I've never bothered to watch an adaptation of it, but I know the basic storyline and it's alive, blah blah blah. But yes, so I did have that prior knowledge, and so let me tell you that this book is much different than what I've heard that the Frankenstein movies are about, and I can tell you from what I've heard, it's much better. This book was freaking amazing, and it was just so beautifully written. It was so just, creepy at times. There were some times where I was just like, oh, that would creep me out. And it's not like a terrifying book, but it does have that level of creepiness. So that's why I'm glad that I read it mostly in October, because it was a very good book for that month. And I highly enjoyed it. 5 out of 5 stars. It was amazing. Did not like Victor Frankenstein though, and he was the main character. I liked the monster more than I liked Victor Frankenstein. I feel like that is sad, but it's the truth. The next 2 books that I read this month were actually read-alouds. My mom likes to read books aloud to my sister and I, and we are going through a series called the Mother-Daughter Book Club. If you have not read it, oh my gosh, go read it. These books are so relatable. Like, there will be something and they say that, and I'm like, that speaks to me. They're middle grade books called the Mother-Daughter Book Club by Heather Vogel Frederick. It might be Vogel or Vogel, I'm not sure. I think it's Vogel though. Don't judge me on that. But anyway, yes, it's a series. This month we read Dear Pen Pal, which is book number 3, and Pies and Prejudice, which is book number 4. And like I said earlier, this series is amazing so far. It is so relatable, and it is about a group of girls and their mothers go to yoga class, and nothing good happens when they go to yoga class. And they come up with this brilliant idea that they will have a mother-daughter book club. But some of the girls, there are 2 best friends, but then some of the girls are kind of like, well, she's a new girl. That's kind of weird. She used to be my friend, but now she's kind of a bully. That's weird. And then later on, someone else comes in, they're like, no. And it is just, they are so relatable. Like, it's not even funny. And they're from all the different girls' points of view. So you get everybody's different point of view, and you have Emma, who is a book nerd, and then you have Cassidy, who is really into sports and not a girl at all, like as tomboy as you can get. Then you have Jess, who lives on a farm and loves animals, but she also does singing and acting. And then you have Megan, who is the fashionista, and she designs clothing and she draws and all that sort of thing. And then you have Becca, who is the queen bee or the top bully of the story. But then go on in the series, guys. You continue with this series. You have to continue the series. Just, you can stop if you want to. And we were going to. The plan was to read the first book and then be done. But then my sister and I were like, Mom, these are so good, we have to keep going. So then we ended up buying the whole series, and we are currently on book 5. And I'm telling you, if you are, okay, so I'm 17, if you are my age, you will love them. If you are like 24, you will love them. My mom, she loves them. Okay, these are like an any age kind of books. If you have a young kid who doesn't really want to read, read the first one aloud to them, and maybe they'll want to read the next ones by themselves. I'm telling you, read these books. They're really, really good. So yes, those are the next 2 books I read this month. Well, listen to, technically, but you know what I mean. The next book I read this month was The Rose Society by Marie Lu. And I enjoyed this book. I didn't enjoy it as much as I hoped I'd enjoy it, but it was kind of because I was reading when I was really, really busy, and I started reading it, and then I had a whole bunch of these 4-H competitions all in like these couple of weeks, and I had to get all my school done and all that sort of thing, so I literally stopped reading it because I had to get all of my other stuff done. And so there was a big break in the middle of my reading. Like, I would read it, and then maybe one weekend during all that crazy time I'd have enough time to read a little more of it, but I just never got like back into it. So I feel like if I had read it at a different time, I would have enjoyed it more. So I kind of wish I read it at a different time, and I might have enjoyed it more than I did. I did like it. I will continue if there's another book, because there better be another book. Better be another book. But anyway, so I didn't enjoy it as much as I would have liked. It was very dark, but not as dark as I expected it to be, considering how deep Adelina has gone into her villainous state. But the ending, oh my goodness. And Adelina is just starting to get on my nerves. She just really is. But yes, if you have read The Young Elites, then I highly suggest that you go ahead and continue with the series. If you have not read The Young Elites, I do suggest that you read these books because they are really, really good. And there are some characters who you just love. But they aren't something where I'm like really, really pushing you to read. Does that make sense? Like, they're really good, I really enjoy them, but they're not like way up there in my top favorite books of all time kind of thing. Although I still really enjoyed them. If you want to get into Marie Lu, though, I suggest you start with Legend, her Legend series. That is freaking amazing. That I will push and push and push and push and push you to read until you read it, because that is so good. And I love it so much. Personally, I think they're so much better than the Young Elite series, but that's just my opinion. Like I said, I do really like these. And I wish I liked them more because I love Marie Lu's writing, but I just didn't enjoy this as much as I thought I would. Although it is signed. Ta-da! I went to the Texas Book Festival just because Marie Lu was there. We read, okay, story time. My friend had read The Young Elites, and I had been eyeing it for a while because, like, that looks cool, sounds cool, but I don't know if I'd like it. When she got it from the library, I said, okay, tell me how you like it, because I've been thinking about reading it, but I'm not sure. And when she finished, she goes, read that book. So we made a plan, and we have been wanting to go to the Texas Book Festival for, like, the past 3 years. It was kind of sad. And we never could because 4-H is crazy in the fall, and I would always have something, or she would always have something with dance, and it was just, we never could go. But then this year, when we found out Marie Lu was going, we were like, okay, I haven't even read any of her books yet, but you've read one and you say it's really good. So let's read all of her books and then go to the festival. And it was like 2 weeks before the festival. So we read all of Marie Lu's books, the Legend trilogy and then The Young Elites, because the Rose Society wouldn't be out until like 2 days before the festival, so we were going to go ahead and just buy it at the festival. We did it though. We both did it. We read all of the books before the festival, and when we told her that, Marie Lu, she was like, wow, y'all are intense. We're like, yeah, we are. So that's my little story about Marie Lu. And the final book that I read this month, no, wait, check that. And the final book that I read in November, it's December now. And that book is Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, The Sword of Summer by Rick Riordan. So good, guys. Yes. Anyway, this book, if you aren't aware, is Rick Riordan taking Norse mythology and Norse gods and thrusting them into our modern everyday lives. It follows a boy named Magnus Chase, and he is homeless. One day he finds out these people are looking for him, so he's like, whoa, okay, that's never a good sign because something happened way back when, his mother, tragedy. When people are looking for him, no bueno. He goes and tries to figure out what's going on, why are they looking for me, and then stuff goes down, man, stuff goes down, and holy cow, this book was good. Personally, I didn't like it as much as I like the Kane Chronicles, but the Kane Chronicles are probably my favorite because Sadie Kane, I just love Sadie Kane, and I am so much like Sadie Kane in some ways that it's just not even funny. When my friends and we cosplay them sometimes, I'm always Sadie Kane because everyone's like, Hannah, you are Sadie Kane. It's a fact. So I feel like that's why, and they're just my top favorite. But it is still very, very good. I highly enjoyed it. Sam is so amazing. I loved her so much. And Blitzen and Hearth were like the best sidekicks you could ask for. Like seriously ever. It made me think of Artemis Fowl because they have dwarves and fairies and elves and all that sort of thing. So I really liked that because I really like the Artemis Fowl series if you don't know. And if you haven't read it, you should read it. It's really good. But, so yes, I really enjoyed it. Blitz and Hearth were so funny, and Sam was just great, and Magnus was just great, and Jack, I mean, come on. This whole book was amazing. And I feel like I can't make a, like, clear thought on how it was because it was just that good. Like, I'm just like, oh, just read it. Basically. That's what you gotta do. So, yes, I read this. 5 out of 5 stars. Simply amazing. On to the December TBR. Now, personally, I don't really do TBRs. I just kind of pick up whatever I'm in the mood for, and which usually works for me a lot of times. I read The Kiss of Deception that way and fell in love. Sometimes I do want to kind of plan what I'm going to read and or have like a game plan, like this is what I would like to read, but I never hold myself to it. I never like make a list, and if I don't finish that list, I am sad. So now that you know how my TBR kind of works, let's get on with it. So the first book that I like to read in December, I am actually currently reading, so basically it's more like I like to finish it soon, is Happily Ever After by Kiera Cass. These are 4 short stories that take place in the Selection universe. There is The Prince, which is about Maxon and from Maxon's point of view, about his point of view from the Selection, like the beginning part of the Selection. There's The Guard, which I've heard is about Aspen, which I'm kind of worried for because I personally never really cared for Aspen and I haven't gotten to that one yet. So we'll see how that goes. But there's that one. There's The Queen, which I've just finished reading yesterday, and it's about Queen Amberly back when she was in the Selection. And that was really good. I really enjoyed that one. The 4th one is The Favorite, which is about Marley and her journey through the Selection and all the stuff that happens. In case you haven't read the books, I won't say, but yes. And I haven't read that one yet. So I've read 2 out of 4. And then there are also like exclusive scenes and bonus scenes. And this book has drawings in it, and I will show some in a minute. I believe it says it has added scenes from the different books that she wanted to add in there, but she couldn't. And it's just really good so far. Really entertaining. I'm going to show you some of the pictures. So like here we have a picture of Maxon in America in that garden scene that was in the Selection. And I really enjoy all the drawings. They have a lot of drawings in here. And as I was looking through for a drawing, I just noticed that there's a thing that says after the one. Oh, I'm excited for that. I also noticed that there was another short story called The Maid, and they don't mention that on the back. So, anyway, so there are actually 5 short stories in here, plus the little extra scenes and bonus scenes and blah, 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 and oh, it's really good so far, and I can't wait to finish it. The next book I would like to read this month, I don't actually have it yet, but I've ordered it during that Black Friday, you know, book outlet thing, and I will do a haul when my package arrives, but it hasn't come yet. But the book is My True Love Gave to Me by a bunch of different authors. I bought this book because Allie Carter wrote a short story in there, and I freaking love Allie Carter. And I got the sample one time on my iBooks account, and I read the first one and the second one. I enjoyed the first one a lot. Didn't really care for the second one. So I have a feeling it'll be kind of like, I'll love this one, I won't like this one kind of things. I believe the first one was by Rainbow Rowell, and I have no idea what the second one's by, but because I just got the sample, so I didn't get like the whole book, of course. But Allie Carter is why I bought that book. It's Christmassy. I've been told that it will put you in the Christmas mood. That is what I want. I love Christmas. I'm gonna read it. Trust me. And the last book I want to read this month is Jane and the 12 Days of Christmas by Stephanie Barron. I actually won this last Christmas. It was like, I think a week before Christmas. And our library was having a contest, not a contest really, but a giveaway. And you'd put your name in to be drawn to win a different set of books. They had a Christmas set, they had a young adult set, they had a middle grade set, they had like a documentary set, and you know, different sets of like books and movies to give away. And so I put my name in for all of them. So like, well, you know, I don't like that stuff, but I have friends who like that stuff. So, you know, if I win it, it'd be gifts. I like that, so I'll put my name in for that kind of thing. And I won! I won the Christmas set. And so not only did I get this book, but I also got an illustrated version of A Christmas Carol, which I freaking love. Not only do I love the book, I've read it, but I also love my illustrated version. It is so beautiful. I also got 2 different cookbooks and a movie that I'm not going to watch because it's rated R and I don't like that sort of thing. But other than that, really enjoyable package. So happy I won. It was so much fun. I was jumping up and down when I found out. It was great. Anyway, back to this book. So this book, from what I have gathered, Jane Austen, like the actual author Jane Austen, and she goes to a Christmas party and then either a tragic accident happens or somebody dies or something like that, and Jane has to solve a mystery. I personally love Jane Austen and all of her books. Pride and Prejudice, we're rewatching the BBC short series right now. It is so good because, like I said earlier, we finished reading Pies and Prejudice from the Mother-Daughter Book Club because they read Pride and Prejudice in that book. And so that got us in the, you know, Jane Austen mood. And I'm also reading Emma this month for school. I'm kind of in a Jane Austen mood right now, and so this book will be very enjoyable to read. It sounds amazing. I love mysteries. I love Jane Austen. I'm hoping it won't go wrong. I'm really excited. I hope I haven't built up my hopes too much, but we'll see how this goes. I'm planning on reading this. So that is my November wrap-up and December TBR. If you have read any of the books that I have read in November, comment down below and tell me what you thought. If you have read any of the books that I am planning on reading this December, comment below and tell me what you thought of them, and if you liked them, hated them, whatever. I am SimplyABookLover on Instagram and SimplyBookLover on Twitter, but I also have a personal Twitter that is TXBibliophile, and the link to that will be in my bio in my other Twitter. So you can click the link to my book Twitter, and in the bio of my book Twitter will be the link to my personal Twitter. Because I don't really post on my book Twitter, but I post a lot on my well, not a whole lot, but I post on my personal Twitter. So if you want to see what I do on a day-to-day basis. Also, fun fact, Whataburger is following me on Twitter. I'm freaking out, like it's insane. Like the official Twitter for Whataburger is following me on Twitter. I mean, I'm excited. When I saw that, I was like, I think it's great. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be back with another one soon, and I will see y'all later.